She put something in the soup. I watched her do it. I was standing right there in the kitchen doorway when she sprinkled something into the pot of soup. It wasn't salt. It wasn't seasoning. I knew because she looked over her shoulder first, checking if anyone was watching. She didn't see me. That was the moment I knew Mama Kola had been poisoning Sade. I should have spoken up. Maybe Sade would still be here. Sade was my cousin. She was the kind of person who made people feel warm inside, like the first sip of hot pap on a cold morning. When she laughed, it was full, deep, the kind of laugh that made people stop and smile, even when they didn't know what was funny. When she married Kola, we were all happy for her. Kola was a good man, hardworking, respectful. But there was one problem, his mother. Mama Kola, everyone in the village knew she was a difficult woman. Controlling. Sharp-tongued. But nobody ever said she was wicked. At least, not out loud. At first, she only used words to hurt Sade. This soup tastes like dirty water. You sweep like someone with no home training. Look at how you dress today. Is this how your mother raised you? Every day, little stabs. Little cuts. Sade smiled through it. She tried to be the perfect wife, the perfect daughter-in-law. She cooked, cleaned, greeted elders, even gave Mama Kola money from the small business she was running in the market. But it was never enough. Then, Sade started falling sick. At first, it was small things, headaches, dizziness. Then, she started losing weight. Her once bright, glowing skin became dull. Her voice lost its strength. She would hold her stomach in pain, curled up on her mat, sweating, shivering. She went to the herbalist. He gave her roots and leaves. Nothing changed. She went to the doctor in town. He said she was fine. She's just stressed, people said. Give it time. But time only made her worse. One day, I stayed home while everyone else went to the farm. I wasn't feeling too well, so I told them I'd rest and join them later. I was lying on my mat when I heard it, pots clattering in the kitchen. I got up quietly and peeped through the door. Mama Kola was standing by the fire, stirring the bubbling pot of soup. She tasted it, smacked her lips, then reached into her wrapper and pulled out a small cloth pouch. She opened it, pinched something between her fingers, and sprinkled it into the soup. She stirred quickly, looking over her shoulder once, then again. I stepped back, heart pounding. I knew what I saw. But my throat locked up. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. That night, I watched as Sade ate the soup. She was too weak to finish her portion. Mama Kola sat across from her, eating the same food, laughing with the other women, acting like everything was normal. But I knew. And in the morning, Sade couldn't get up. She didn't die that day. Not yet. But the sickness got worse. She couldn't walk without help. She barely spoke. One night, I sat beside her, watching her struggle to breathe. She turned her head slightly and whispered, "Ayo." Her voice was dry, cracked. "I don't think I'll wake up tomorrow." I held her hand. "Don't say that. You'll be fine." She gave me a small, weak smile. "You don't believe that." I didn't. And in the morning, she was gone. At the funeral, Mama Kola cried the loudest. She beat her chest. She rolled on the ground. She wailed like a mother in deep pain. People held her, comforted her. She loved Sade like her own daughter, they said. This is a true mother's sorrow. But I knew the truth. I stood there, watching her, my stomach twisting, bile rising in my throat. I wanted to scream. I wanted to point at her, shout, it was her. She killed Sade. But I said nothing. Because I was afraid. Afraid of her. Afraid of what she would do to me if I spoke. And now, every night, Sade visits me in my dreams. She doesn't say much. She just stands there, staring, eyes hollow, lips moving without sound. But I know what she's asking. "Ayo, why didn't you stop her?" And I have no answer.